नमस्ते। कार्यक्रम रेडियो पाठशाला कालिका एफएम 95.2 मा तपाईहरुमाझ हामीले प्रस्तुत गर्दै आइरहेका छौं। यति बेला प्रविधि कक्षमा रहेका छन् प्राविधिक साथी शम्भु अनि तपाईलाई साथ दिनको लागि उपस्थित भएको छु म हुँ मनोज पन्त। भोलि चैत्र महिनाको 8 गते भोलिबाट एसईई परीक्षा सञ्चालन हुन लागिरहेको छ। सेकेन्डरी एजुकेसन एक्जामिनेसन एसईई परीक्षामा भोलि अंग्रेजी विषयको परीक्षा रहेको छ। सम्पूर्ण परीक्षार्थीहरूलाई शुभकामना। र आजको यस कार्यक्रम रेडियो पाठशालामा अंग्रेजी विषयको अध्यापन गराउन आउँदै हुनुहुन्छ भरतपुर 10 चितवनमा रहेको अर्किड स्कुलका सहप्राचार्य ओम राज मैनाली।
Hello class, good evening. How are you all? Well, that's fine. And what about your exam preparation? Good. Yeah, I'm happy with your exam preparation. Okay guys, hold your spirit high and have courage. Get excited but don't get scared of an examination, okay? Well dear, in our last class we discussed on the specification grid and even we discussed about a poem. So today we'll make a discussion on a syntax which is very often asked in question number 2 and you know it weighs 10 marks. Now let me put an example of a syntax which is followed by some exercises as well. So the title is Habit Cultivation. It's your syntax. Let me read it out for you. Here I go. The ability to show courage in the face of adversity. Show self-restraint in the face of temptation. Choose happiness in the face of hurt. Show character in the face of despair, and see opportunity in the face of obstacles are all valuable traits to possess. So, there are some traits which we need to possess as a good person, as a good human being. Do you know what are they? Like, we need to have courage in the time of adversity. We should have self-control, let's say self-restraint, if we are tempted. We need to show character if we are in despair. And we need to see opportunity among obstacles. These are the traits that we need to possess to be a good person. Okay, let's continue. But these traits do not just appear. They are the result of constant and consistent training, both mental and physical. So, what do you get? Did you get something? To possess these traits, we need to be trained for a long time. We should practice it constantly and consistently. Then only we are able to possess these traits to be a good person. Yes, let me continue the line. In the face of adversity, our behavior, whether positive or negative, can only be what we have practiced. When we practice negative traits such as cowardice or dishonesty in small events and hope to handle the major events in a positive way, it won't happen because that's not what we have practiced. So what point do you get here? So, be it positive or negative, whatever behavior, whatever practices we practice in our everyday life, that is reflected when time comes to show. That's the thing, right? Did you get it? Well, let me move to the next paragraph. If we permit ourselves to tell a lie once, it is a lot easier to do it second and a third time until it becomes a habit. So at first it becomes difficult, then we become used to, we are accustomed to, be it positive or negative traits that we have been practiced for long. That is what it means to say. Okay. In the same way, success lies in the philosophy of sustain and abstain. sustain what needs to be done and abstain what is detrimental, or let's say harmful, until this becomes habitual. Sustain, it holds up, and abstain, that is detrimental, that is harmful. Human beings are more emotional than rational. Honesty and integrity are the result of both our belief system and practice. Anything we practice long enough becomes ingrained into our system and becomes a habit. A person who is honest most of the time gets caught the first time he tells a lie, whereas a person who is dishonest most of the time gets caught the first time he tells the truth. So, whatever practice we practice through in our life for a long time, that are ingrained into our system and we are habitual in it, and that becomes a habit. That's the thing. You got it, guys? Good. So honesty and dishonesty to self and others becomes a habit. The choice is ours as to what we practice. Whatever response we choose, our thinking pattern becomes habitual. We form habits, and habits form character. Before we realize that we have got the habit has got us. So someone once said, our thoughts lead to actions. Thoughts lead to actions. Actions lead to habits, and habits form character. And finally, character leads to destiny. Therefore, you should try to form character building habits. So that's all about this syntax. Now it's time for exercise. Please have a look up on these questions. Okay. Question number A. From the text, find the words that are similar in meaning to the following words. It means you have to find the synonym from the text. Okay. First pens, you please. Bravery. What is the word that is similar to this word? You have to find from the text. Can you? That's good. It is courage. Thank you. Sit down. Okay, next from this row. So could you please find a word that is similar in meaning to the word hardship? Yeah, you have to find in the text. That's fine. It's adversity. Yes. And the last question. So what is the synonym of the word fraudulence in the text? Yes, you last bench, please. Yes. Great. That is dishonesty. Okay, now let's move to the next question. Here you have to answer these questions in short. The first question is, what are the valuable traits that human beings have to possess? Will you try, please? Good. Yes, they are courage, self-restraint, happiness, character, and opportunity. Likely. What is the answer of this question? How do some people become perfect in making mistakes? Yes, answer is there. Please search. Yes, you please. Yeah, that's right. Anything we practice long enough becomes ingrained into our system, and that becomes a habit. And if people, they go on practicing mistakes time and again, they become perfect in the same. And the next question is, differentiate between sustain and abstain. Yeah, it's clearly mentioned there in the second paragraph. Sustain what needs to be done and abstain from what is detrimental until this becomes habitual. And the last question, why should we try to form character building habits? Because character leads to our destiny. First, we form thoughts, and that lead to actions, and actions lead to habits, and habits form character, and finally character leads to destiny. So we need to form character building habits. That's all about syntax. Now, shall we move on to next question? Okay, that's fine. Then let's move to question number 6, so that we may discuss on interpretation of charts or graphs, and it weighs 5 marks. And one thing you have to keep in mind while interpreting a chart or graph, you must remember these points. Let me put some points for you. First, observe the given charts or diagrams very carefully so as to understand what they are about and what information they want to communicate. Next, observe and analyze the signs and symbols, shaded parts, representation of data carefully. And if the title or heading is not given, choose an appropriate title or heading on the basis of the given chart or diagram. And then explain the given information or data and compare and contrast the data or information or representation within the picture or the chart or the graph. Finally, sum up your ideas and present your opinions along with judgment or suggestions as well. So how do we start it? In the introductory paragraph, you may start like this. The above chart or the graph illustrates ... and then you have to show compare and comparison and contrast. We can use these words like while, on the other hand, however, similarly, compared to, in comparison to, unlike, 3 times as many, etc. In the same way, describing figures, in this way you can describe like slightly more, less than, approximately, just over, a little below, a little above. And the trends you have to follow here, describing trends like to increase, to decrease, to rise, to fall, to undergo, to remain stable, less significant, more significant, a parallel rise, a parallel fall. This way you can describe the chart or the diagram. And while making an overview or while summing up, you can write to summarize or thus or overall. This way you can conclude, you can sum up. Let me put an example of a pie chart. Here I go. Let me read out the question. The chart below shows how Mr. Yadav spends his money. Look at it and interpret the information given in the chart. Here is a pie chart. It is about Mr. Yadav's monthly expenses. It's been mentioned like he spends 45% of his salary on food, 25% on clothes, 20% on entertainment, and the rest 10% on rent. So let me put a sample. So the title you have to write this way: monthly expenditure of Mr. Yadav. That could be the title. And then you may start. The chart highlights how Mr. Yadav spends his earning on different topics. And you may proceed with other further sentences like, according to the chart, Mr. Yadav spends most of his salary on his food, followed by clothes and entertainment. A detailed look at the chart illustrates that Mr. Yadav spends 45% of his salary on his food, which is nearly double of expenses on clothes and entertainment at 25% and 20% respectively. However, he spends only 10% on rent. And finally, while summarizing, you may write like, overall Mr. Yadav's expenses on food seems to be nearly double to the expenses on 3 different titles such as clothes, entertainment and rent. So this way you may write an interpretation of charts or graphs. So that's what we discussed about interpreting a graph or chart. Now let's discuss how to write an email. Okay? Well, here are some key points for you. Okay. While writing an email, you need to remember these points. Let me put some for you. Always fill in the subject line with a topic that means something to your reader. Subject line with a topic. Okay? Next, put your main point in the opening sentence. And then always specify what you are writing about. Be brief and polite. Remember to say please and thank you. And finally, add a signature block with appropriate contact information. Now let me put an example of an email. Here I have an email. At first, you need to write the subject. Okay, let me read it out for you. Application open for social action project. It's from gaurav.sharma@britishcouncil.org.np, and it is the recipient is orchidschool.chitwan@gmail.com. It was sent on 14th February 2018, 5:30 p.m. at 5:30 p.m. So, what did you mention? At first, subject line, and then who's the sender? Who's sending email? You need to mention that. And to whom? Who the recipient of the email? And date and time you have to mention just below that. Okay. And you have to address. Dear sir or madam, I am very delighted to announce the opening of social action projects to ISS schools of this year and award winners of last few years. Social action project tackles societal problems with student-led initiatives and project works executed by the students. Since 2012, British Council has been delivering social action projects to many schools, whereby students have engaged in many projects changing the community sustainably and raising various awareness and producing remarkable outcomes through their initiatives. If you are interested to be a part of this project, please send your application only to connecting.classroom@britishcouncil.org.np by 5 p.m. of 28th February 2018. All the other schools working on social action projects for the first time, including government schools, are highly encouraged to apply. Regards, Gaurav Sharma, Schools Project Officer, British Council, Lainchor, Kathmandu, Nepal. So, this is the way how you need to write an email. Okay dear, what shall we do next? Good. Finally, let's wrap our class with a film review. Right? That's good. So here are some tips to write a film review. Let me put some for you. While making a film review, you need to keep these things in your mind. First, view the film first, and then express your opinion of the film, but support your criticism as well. After you watch the movie, express your opinion of the movie and support your criticism as a critic. And then adjust the style of your review for the readership. Avoid spoilers and judge the story. Keep in mind that, does the plot make sense? Is the storyline logical? These questions please try to raise in your mind. And don't forget to rate the actors. Like, do they meet the expectations dictated by the plot and other story elements? Rate the actors. Okay? And finally, evaluate the technical elements as well, like how do cinematography or editing, lighting, sound, and other components support or detract from the film. Keep these things in your mind while making a film review. So, I have a sample of a film review of a popular Nepali film. You might have watched it. It's Chaka Panja. Okay. And the genre, comedy and social drama. Director, Dipasri Nirola. Producers, Deepak Rajgiri, Dipasri Nirola, Kedar Ghimre. And cast, Deepak Rajgiri, Priyanka Karki, Aryan Sigdal, Jitu Nepal, Kedar Ghimre, Buddhi Tamang, Shivahari Paudel, and Aruna Karki. And release date, September 9th, 2016. The film Chaka Panja revolves around 4 friends in a village: Raja, Saraswati, Magne, and Buddhi. Raja is rich but illiterate and enjoys life, and tells his friends not to get married or hold any job. However, he secretly has affairs with married women. Then one day, Raja gets married to Champa, and the story enters a serious mode when Champa elopes with someone else. The lives of Raja and his friends are torn upside down. Chaka Panja is a total comedy and social drama, a story of friendship, love, and revenge. It is hilarious from start to finish, with comedy and satire on society. It's funny and takes you to Raja's land. Dipasri Nirola as the debutant director has done a good job. The storyline and setting is nothing new, but the way it has been presented is different, hence refreshing. Except for Dayahang Rai and Dhurmus of Vada number 6, the other characters, one may see these characters regularly on television, but the director has presented these characters in new dimension. The first half of the film moves with Giri and his friends, mischievous acts and social problems of society, leaving one's wife to work in a foreign country, unemployment, society's culture to show off, poverty, domestic violence, and so on. In the middle of the second half, the story takes a turn, surprising the audience with its terrific ending. Giri justifies his role as Raja. His cunning nature, Raja Babu style get-up, and perfect comedy timing still audience's heart as Raja. Karki as Champa and Paudel as the mystery man do a decent job. Nepal and Ghimire tickle your funny bone with their gags and humor. Tamang as the coward husband is apt and really funny. Aruna Karki as the tigress wife Devi is natural. Aryan Sigdal is a cameo as an NRN is treat to watch. So the songs Purva Paschim Rail and Dekhana Champa, Sunana Champa, Rajan Raj Sivakoti and Deepak Sharma's composition will thrill you. The background score is awesome. So with this film review, let's wrap up for today. Thanks for your good time and patience, and I wish you all the best for your SEE to be commenced from tomorrow. See you next. Good night.
आजको कार्यक्रम रेडियो पाठशालामा अंग्रेजी विषयको अध्यापन गराउँदै हुनुहुन्थ्यो भरतपुर 10 चितवन स्थित अर्किड स्कुलका सहप्राचार्य ओमराज मैनाली। भोलि हुने SEE परीक्षा अर्थात् सेकेन्डरी एजुकेसन एक्जामिनेसनका सम्पूर्ण तयारी गरिरहनुभएका विद्यार्थीहरूलाई शुभकामना दिँदै कार्यक्रम सुनेर साथ दिनुभएकोमा यहाँलाई धन्यवाद व्यक्त गर्दै प्रविधिका साथी शम्भुलाई पनि धन्यवाद भन्दै कालिका FM 95.2 को यो प्रस्तुति कार्यक्रम रेडियो पाठशालाबाट म मनोज पन्त पनि बिदा हुन्छु। हवस् त, नमस्कार, शुभरात्रि।